Hello, everybody. I am Dr. Jenkins. Welcome to our online version of Biology 109 Lab, which is Biology of the Human Organism. Now, you all are going to have Dr. Kelly for lecture, and you're going to have me, Dr. Jenkins, for lab. Not to worry, Dr. Kelly and I have worked together years and years and years and years and years and years and years. So you are in good hands, all right? Not to worry. Now, what this means is for any specific questions you have about lecture, when your assignments are due or when your exams are, you should ask Dr. Kelly. When you have a specific question about lab, you should ask me, all right? Now, I've taught the 109 lecture before, so if you have questions about the material, feel free to ask me. But if you have questions about Dr. Kelly's assignments or when her exams or the format of the exams, you should ask her. All right, let's talk about the lab. So, Bio 109 lab. I'm excited. Even though we're online, it's going to be a good lab, okay? So what's going to happen is every week we will have one lab topic. For example, we'll have a lab on the scientific method. We'll have a lab on the digestive system. We'll have a lab on microbiology, all these things. So each week on your lab Blackboard page, there will be a nice big announcement, and it'll say, this week in lab, we are covering microbiology. Here's what you need to do. Bullet point 1, watch this video. Oftentimes, I record a video going over the most important points. These are not that long, max maybe 20 minutes. And then you'll click on the link, it'll take you to my YouTube page, and you'll watch the video. And then there'll be a lab worksheet. So as you watch the video or as you go through the lab material, you will answer the questions on the lab worksheet. Everything will be available to you each week starting Monday morning at 12:01 a.m. And everything will be available all week, okay? So even though we have a tentative scheduled time where we meet, we will not be meeting at a certain time, okay? Let me say that again. We will not be meeting on Zoom at a certain time. Instead, the lab material will be available to you on Blackboard all week. That means you can look at it in the schedule that works best for you, okay? They'll be available starting Monday morning, and then your lab worksheets will be due each Sunday at midnight. You will email those to me. So each week there'll be a topic, sometimes a video to watch. You'll do the lab assignment, and then there's also going to be a lab quiz. Usually it's like 10 questions, and you'll need to do that lab quiz sometime before Sunday at midnight. So you have all week to look at the lab material. Everything is due to me Sunday at midnight. Now, if you've heard the word on the street about Dr. J, she, meaning me, I do not take late assignments. I feel like some professors say that, but I say it and I really mean it. So if you email me something at 12:01 Sunday night, I'm not going to accept it, period. So what this means is you got to plan ahead. Plan for technology problems to happen. Get your lab done earlier in the week. If you email me with a question about the lab Sunday night at 8 p.m., that doesn't give me much time to get back to you before midnight when it's due. All right? So I do my best to check my emails on the weekends, and I usually am able to, but do not wait till the last minute, okay? Do it earlier in the week. If you have questions, gives me plenty of time to get back to you. Take your quiz earlier in the week or even earlier in the day on Sunday, because if you have a technical problem with your quiz, sometimes Blackboard just kicks you out. If you have a technical problem and you've taken it at Sunday night at 10 p.m., well, if I don't check my email between 10 p.m. and midnight, tough cookies. So I'm here to help you, but you have to work with me. Get your work done earlier in the week. That way we can anticipate and plan for any problems, all right? I have a little notes here to make sure I talk about everything. I will be having Zoom office hours. So even though we're not going to be meeting for lab on Zoom, I will be having weekly office hours. So you can log on, ask me questions. I will post those Zoom links for the office hours on Blackboard. Okay? If those Zoom office hours times do not work for you, email me. Say, hey, those times don't work for me. Could you meet at this time? I'll try and meet with you on Zoom when it works for you. So I am here for you, but you have to reach out. All right? Okay, a couple other things. As you know, you have Dr. Kelly for lecture. So you're going to have a Blackboard page for lecture with her. And then there's going to be a separate lab Blackboard page, and that's with me, okay? So all of the lab material, the lab worksheets, and your lab quizzes, and the links to the lab Zoom office hours will be on the lab Blackboard page. All right? Let's see. Got that, got that. Don't accept late work, got that. Lastly, this is a course that all of you can do well in. I know it. I want you to use lab to help your overall grade. So what's going to happen is what you do with Dr. Kelly, your lecture and your final exam, what you do with Dr. Kelly makes up 75% of your grade. And then what you do with me in lab makes up 25%. So at the end of the semester, I will calculate your lab grade, and then I'll pass that along to Dr. Kelly, and she will incorporate it as 25%. This course, for many people, is challenging. Maybe you haven't had a science course like this before. It's a little bit different than other disciplines like English or things like that. So it can be challenging. So you're going to have to do the work. Okay, it's very rare where people can do well in this course without studying. So you're going to have to study. Just get that in your mind. Figure out what techniques are going to work for you. Put the time in. Reach out if you have questions. With lab, I want you to be able to do well in lab and use that to help your overall grade. But you're going to have to do the work. I provide the material. I am here to help you. But you're going to have to do the work also. All right. One last tidbit to remind you. I'm going to have a code for the Remind phone app. So on your mobile phone, you're going to be able to download for free an app called Remind. And then when you type in the code I'm going to post on Blackboard, it allows you to be able to literally text me. So it's a way of us being able to communicate via this way without knowing each other's phone number. So here's another way you can communicate with me. In addition to communicating with me through email, there's no excuses, ladies and gentlemen. I know almost everyone, if not everyone, has a smartphone. So that way, if you're not near your computer or you're just used to using your phone, pull up Remind, you can text me a little message. Hey, I have a quick question on X, Y, and Z, or hey, when is something due? Okay? All right, everyone, let's start the semester off right. I am here to help you, but you're going to have to work hard. Let's have a good semester.